as I'm walking here. I'm having these thoughts. You see this soy field behind me? It's all dried up, ready to be harvested. These are soybeans. They grow them here. It's the government's property. And I see them every month, every 2 months or so. They come and spray a shit ton of pesticides on them. I know exactly what they will do with the soybeans. The soybeans are not meant for human consumption. Previously, in previous era, they were used for industrial oil, for machinery, industrial machinery. However, they're really easy to grow, especially in this climate. And they have these fields everywhere. This is just one where I walk at, but around this area, this whole state, even many states around it, they're everywhere. They're always sprayed with pesticides, and you know what they do? They turn this into fast food oils, the soybean garbage that America and a lot of the world is fed. It all starts right here. So the thought I had was, I want to burn all the soy fields down. I'm serious. I'm not saying that metaphorically. I'm not speaking in proverbials here or whatnot. I'm speaking in a physical sense. I really want to burn all the soy fields. This one's here, the ones down the road, this whole at night. I want to go set fire on all of them. But then the revelation came to me. It's not a revelation, I've always known it, but it just became so evident. It annoys and bogs my mind. It bothers me really. And it's the fact that we live in captivity. We're slaves and prisoners in captivity. We are not free humans. We're in a slave system. Why is that? For the very reason I can't burn the soy field beans. The soy field beans are going to be used to poison the population, as they have been doing, as they will continue to do. Of course, this is orchestrated through average citizens. The guy on the tractor, he's just doing his job. He had orders to come here, spray this pesticide shit. The person harvesting is gonna deliver somewhere. The person processing, the manufacturing facility, so on and so forth. They're just playing their human role. The slaves, the cogs, the machine. They don't care what it's for. They can't do anything about it, just as I can't burn this. And of course I could burn it. We have free will. Now, I'm not retarded. I know I'm gonna end up in prison for a long time. And prison's literally hell on this earth. And for doing something I want to do, why would I go to prison? Because we live in captivity. My intent and the outcome of me burning all the soy fields is only going to be net positive for society and the world. But of course not going to be net positive for the elites. And who are these elites? They're the slave masters. They created the slave system. They're empowered to do so, not merely by human powers, but by the evil of this world. This evil powers of this world. That's where they get their powers. And there's huge trade-offs. It's not that you want to be a slave master. You definitely don't want that. It's the worst thing you could be. But just let that thought sink in. We are slaves in a slave system. I would do the world a positive, a good, to burn all this soy shit down. And I would go to prison for it. Now, if an elite wants someone killed, whether they exposed something they didn't want exposed, they said something to the public that they didn't want to be said, or they simply wanted to take someone down for no apparent reason, they could very well do that. And they do that day in, day out. They steal babies, they cause wildfires, they do all these things. And nobody questions them. If they have someone killed at the scene, they're gonna leave a sign, which the higher up police knows exactly what it means. A sign means leave it. You know the guy that killed that Ukrainian refugee in some city recently? And he had like 10 or 12, 13 crimes or whatever the case. I forget the details. Basically, he was supposed to be in prison a long time ago, but they kept releasing him. Well, now they're thinking of releasing him again after this crime. The whole Charlie Kirk situation, I'm beyond their theatrical shit shows. I don't care for that stuff. I hear it either from clients, from people around me. It's mentioned here or there. Even when I open up my YouTube to upload something, this news stuff always get mentioned. I don't care for it. I don't believe any of it. It's all theatrical shit show. I'm way past it. But my point is that the elites could do as they please. And it only goes to show we're in captivity. I don't like the shit system. It's what really repulses me from creating offsprings. Why would I bring them the shit system of captivity? Imagine a cattle farm where the cattle live in boxes. They're fed grain, garbage, soy shit day in, day out. And the cattle reproduce, so they have more cattle to sit in more boxes and to be fed more grain shit. This goes on and on and on. And the herd master, the cattle master, profits of all this. Their existence mean nothing. Their quantity as a whole function as cogs in the system, essentially. If the cows had conscience, they would simply choose not to have offsprings. Their fate is already sealed. You know, they can't do anything about it, but they'll realize and not have offsprings. That's kind of how I see humans, in a way. We're in this captivity, very evident captivity, a prison, a big prison. If we had freedom, I'd be able to burn these soy fields down, and there wouldn't be eternal imprisonment for it. Think back to ancient times, more primitive tribal times. That's why I always akin to those times. That's why I favor them and think highly of them. Because in those times, if a group arose that started massively poisoning a lot of people around, then my tribe would start say this was their poison, would burn their poison down. Why would we not? We would burn their poison down. And if we ran into them, of course they'd be mad and we'd have a war. One of us will make it, one will lose. It is what it is, as a law of nature. That sounds a lot more lovely to me. You know, we'll definitely put up a war with my tribe if they're doing poisonous people and shit like that. And that's free, that's freedom, that's genuine freedom. What we have today is nothing like that. Like, there's systems in place, there's laws, there's jurisdictions, courts, and of course the final word of any of those places isn't justice, equality, whatever shit they promote. It's what the elites want. If a prisoner commits 50 crimes, they still choose to release him because they want to do some distortion, some disputes amongst the races, some stupid shit that this cattle always fall for, man. It gets so sickening. I'm sick of that shit. I'm sick of humans being so retarded and falling for this shit all the time. Even in churches they preach about Charlie Kirk's death. The reason they always fall for it is because they eat this soybean shit. Day in, day out, they freaking indulge in this garbage crap. They watch the shit shows they put on. Fiction or not fiction, movies, TV shows, or news. They bust, they ejaculate, they do not retain their semen. They know no truth. They don't seek God and His ultimate truth. The supremacy of God, the truth, the one and only truth, and no wiggle room. They don't eat raw, proper, healthy, nutritious for humans. They don't get sun, they avoid the sun because the elites told them it's bad. They're sedentary, they're stuck their whole time in their cog in the machine and they call it a blessing. You know, this is gonna sound cringe as shit, icky, it's gonna sound foolish, and it's gonna sound all those things. It's gonna sound bad, but it's been a truth of mine ever since I was. I cannot deny it, I can't wiggle around it, I can't hide it, I can't reject it from myself. It seems as this captivity, I was never tameable. I've always been wild. I'm not a tameable human. And even from a very young age, this was very evident to me. And I tried to conform with this societal function. And it was simply undoable for me. It was, no matter how much I tried, it was uncompatible, like a repulsing magnet. Where's my tribe now? They're all tame humans around. There is no tribe that we could start, burn the soy fields down, and then fight whoever has a problem with that. No, they're all tame. It seems like I'm the one of the very last few wild people, humans. And the people around me, the people everywhere, like, that's just what it is. Come on, bro. It is what it is. You just gotta do it, man. I've heard those words a lot, but I've never comprehended them once. That's just what it is. Why is that just what it is? Yeah, there's nothing we can do about it. That's why I'm very repulsed to having offsprings. I might to just bring them the shit system, tell them, hey son, there's nothing we can do about it. We're just piece of shit slaves. But go on, be a good cog in the machine. Shit pisses me off, man. Shit really pisses me off, and damn. It pisses me off more that there's nothing I could do about it. I'm intelligent enough not to burn it down because I don't want to end up in prison, because, you know, it's not a fight, it's a slaughter. There's no fight I could put up in the grand scheme of things. It's nothing. On the other hand, I simply can't conform. I can't conform to this ways, to this shit system. I can't accept this. I'm incompatible. I'm not tameable. I'm a wild human. That's stemmed a lot of struggles for me in life. That's why I had to start a business. That's why I had to unplug and distance myself from society. I've only met less than a handful of people that thought the same way, and none of them prevailed. They all gave in, unfortunate to say. Where is my tribe? Where are those crusader times where it could reign siege and take over, dominate this world? What's happened? What is this shit? The shit show? Are there any other real humans, untamed people out there? Free thinkers and intelligent people, not retarded crooks that go and do some stupid shit up in prison, eating soy and tofu 24/7, playing some stupid childish games in prison. Where are the wise, intelligent, wild humans? Even if they're out there, this video probably won't reach them, because the algorithm's not pushing this shit out. It's pushing out some soy boy sitting in his room complaining that he's 40 or 35 and nothing is going on in his life and blah blah blah. He's fat and blah blah blah. If this video did get more traction, I could already imagine some of those gooners, those masturbators creating some meme compilation or clipping out some areas of this video. Oh man, the times we live in, unlivable. What else can I say there? It's unlivable. True captivity. You could be a high-rank slave, have a huge business, own a lot of land, whatnot, but you cross the line and boom, captivity in a cage. It's always captivity. God's looking over all this, and why is he not coming sooner? Why is just righteousness not coming and bringing forth ultimate justice once and for all? Why must we endure these times? Are we in Satan's little season, the age of deception? Are we pre-tribulation? And very soon we will escape this mark of the beast system they're plotting. I couldn't tell you. It's becoming unbearable though, to say the least. Justice is long overdue for those satanic elites. Very long overdue, and it's coming. but I'm impatient. I pray God Supreme Jesus Christ will come sooner. Hosanna, Maranatha in Greek or Hebrew means come Jesus sooner, because we're sick of the shit show. It's not that I haven't told people about the light, the truth. Is that evil must prevail as the prophecy unfolds. So what's the point of me repeating this shit? What's the point of me keep saying it if it's still gonna unfold the way it's prophesied to unfold, and there's no other way possible? Why was I born in these times and not in the times of the Crusaders, in the ancient times when God commanded genocide to be brought forth through his people onto those deserving of the wrath? Rather, I was born in a time where the believers and practitioners of Jesus Christ are seen as stupid sheep, are seen as being controlled, being weak and clinging onto some myth, rather than the power of the God Supreme being evident, like when Moses struck that staff and it became a huge serpent and ate all those other false inferior gods' staffs. Like when, who was it? The guy that split the waters, extending his hands up, called to the God Supreme, and the whole ocean split, and the Egyptians were swallowed up after God's people went through the waters. When Daniel and his buddies were not conforming to society at the time, they were not bowing down to some inferior god, some pathetic human king. And the king said, I'll throw you in the fire. And they're like, go ahead. They got thrown in the fire. Jesus appeared with them. Everyone was freaking amazed. Why don't I live in those times where the power of the God Supreme is very evident, and we're not just mocked and seen as stupid sheep for the slaughter? Why must we live in this inverted cross time where the shit's upside down? Daniel was thrown in a cage of lions. The lions did not attack him because God Supreme inhibited them from doing so. Noah built an ark as commanded by God Supreme because God Supreme was gonna flood the world. Everyone mocked him. He got in his ark and lived on. Everyone else died in the flood. Lot, or what was his name, Sodom and Gomorrah, was leaving the city because God was gonna rain fire and brimstone on and destroy everything in it. Everyone mocked. He left the city. Guess what happened? Fire and brimstone burned up the whole city. Make no mistake, fellas, my sanity and perseverance in this regard comes from God Supreme Jesus Christ alone. Had that not been the case, had that not been revealed, the way things will unfold, then things would have been different. I would have not persevered. I'm a wild human, but I also have the spirit of truth, the light of Christ that unveils all that shall come to be. But a little season or two, and we will be victorious. We will reign on this earth from heavenly domains. We will judge angels and the inhabitants of earth preceding us. Why do I trust that? Because God Supreme promised this. There's never been a promise God Supreme hasn't delivered. And it's not easy to endure this captivity, this temporary state, place, life in this shit system. But we will be victorious. Make no mistake, brothers. Victory is already ours. It just hasn't come through to this realm. The victory had always been God Supreme's and always will be. This is but a deception, a phase, a temporary confusion and blur in this world, life. We're destined to be glorious. We will be glorious. Higher than the angels. We will literally be in a different planet, overseeing the matters of this earth. So can we stop being quiet and secretive about it? We're not conformists. We're light bearers. We're modern day crusaders. We're spiritual warriors. We're wild, untamable humans. Where is my tribe? Where are the crusaders? Where's the light of God around this world? Can we shine truthfully and bright and reveal all this dark shit? Not conform to it, rather create a society of our own. In the name of God Supreme, Jesus Christ.